Hello and welcome to this week's Climate Dispatch. Johanna Miller, Vermont Natural Resources Council. Joined here, special guest Lauren Hurl, bringing the OG back, our Executive Director of Vermont Natural Resources Council. But really grateful to have the time of Senator Ann Watson, who is the chair of the Senate Natural Resources and Energy Committee. We're here in the Senate Natural Resources and Energy Committee, though, right on the heels of a conversation that Senator Watson has also been having with her colleagues on the Appropriations Committee. One thing that we wanted to highlight for you today, these are the waning days of the session, so there's a lot of churn happening. We're still trying to hold the line and not pulling back on our climate commitments like the Global Warming Solutions Act, the Renewable Energy Standards. So doing no harm is absolutely fundamental. We've also been keeping you abreast of the Climate Superfund. You know how important that new law is. And what's also really important is making sure that we have the limited but essential funding to actually do the work to implement it successfully. And we've asked Senator Watson, as a champion of that really critical policy, and in her role on the Appropriations Committee, to sort of speak to what you're doing, why it matters, and how we can help in terms of wanting to support that really critical work.
Yeah, sure. So the Treasurer had an A&R had a feasibility study that came out that identified that there are some further needs that they have in order to take the next steps in implementing the Climate Superfund. So that includes money for more modeling and a position with the Treasurer, as well as some contracted services and positions and an attorney for A&R. And so that, particularly that modeling that the Treasurer needs in order to do the cost or damages assessment for the state of Vermont is really critical for us to move forward. It turns out that there's a lot of great modeling out there in the world about the impact of climate change on the costs that we're experiencing. But Vermont has some unique challenges in that we're a very mountainous terrain, and we experience erosional damage from our rivers, perhaps more so than the inundation flooding that happens typically on sea coasts. So particularly for Vermont's situation, we really need to get this modeling done with the Treasurer's office, and that's, I'm going to be advocating for all of it because this is a really important law to make Vermonters whole from the damage that we've experienced from climate change. And so I'm going to be advocating for all of it, but especially that part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And people might have seen, but just this week, the Trump administration put out an executive order naming the Vermont Climate Superfund law, I think showing what an impactful nation-leading law was. I don't know if you wanted to speak to how our state leaders are responding to that executive order that was kind of asking the federal attorney general to look at all state laws on climate policy, including laws like the Vermont Climate Superfund, and to figure out how to try to stop them.
Yeah, well, in no way are we backing down from that or any other climate policy at this point. In fact, I think that the fact that the White House has chosen to weigh in on this, in my mind, tells me that the oil industry is scared because they know that they are liable and that they are going to be held accountable financially for the damages that they've caused. So I'm interested in leaning into this, and particularly the fact that the law that we passed is legal, and we stand by that. And I am so grateful for our Attorney General, who is going to be defending this. So. And I know I'm mostly speaking to Vermonters, but I would just encourage anybody from other states that this is a worthwhile strict liability standard, and that if folks want to be at the table to receive that financial accountability, then they need laws like this as well.
Absolutely. So, as you're hearing, full steam ahead. Don't be scared by the Trump administration putting stuff out. And so our call to action this week is to, if you haven't yet, please reach out to your senator or senators. Let them know to please fund the implementation of the Climate Superfund. Time is running short, so get that done as soon as possible. Two other things to just get on your calendars. April 22nd is Earth Day, and we're really trying to bring people to the State House from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. to remind the state, our leaders, and hear from some leaders about how Vermont is not backing down. Our protecting our environment, our clean air, our clean water, climate action. We are standing up, and we are here to make sure that Vermonters are not backpedaling on this commitment despite the federal threats. And then on April 23rd, the next day at noon, there is a webinar that will be talking more about our Climate Superfund and our renewable energy standard implementation. So mark your calendar, noon, April 23rd, April 22nd, Earth Day, middle of the day, come out to the State House and make those calls to your senators. So let them know to fund the Climate Superfund. Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you all, and we'll be back with you next week.